It's the kid. It's the kid. It's the kid. Yes, they lost. Okay, what can I say? They lost. They lost. They lost. They lost. Okay, I don't know what else he wants from me. It happened. We have to just accept it, and it is what it is. It is what it is. So on this beautiful Sunday hangouts, we will obviously be discussing. We will of course be discussing the AFCON and reaction to the AFCON and everything. And look, man, I'll keep it real. I'll keep it real, man, and I will keep it real for both things. So obviously, we're going to look first at Senegal and their game against Tunisia. We'll look also at the Algeria game against Nigeria, who decided just to completely and totally screw up. And I'm going to be very, very realistic here, man, because again, like for me, I'm not one of these guys that is fake. I'm not one of these guys that is fake. So I'm going to give my thoughts first off to begin with, and then I will allow you guys to pretty much have your say, man. First off, Senegal against Tunisia, crazy game. An absolutely crazy game. I mean, the game was going back and forth. 2 penalty misses in the game, and Senegal did their thing, but I just kept on feeling that Senegal are just missing that something. Senegal are just missing that something. I don't know what it is, but Senegal are just missing that extra something, and is that extra something that really stops them from really being a team who I can see as being winning. But at the end of the day, they won. So you can't say anything. You can't hate on them. They won the game, but Tunisia had the chance to win. But Koulibaly, and we'll get to Koulibaly being missing for the final, I think is a huge loss. I think that is a massive, massive loss. And as for Nigeria and Algeria deserve to win 100%. Nigeria can have zero qualms about anything there. Absolutely nothing at all. And yeah, so that's my view there. So, Jujuman, thoughts on a Senegal Algeria final and thoughts on both games?
So, first of all, I think the Tunisia are just bad. I mean, they're not bad, but it's like Senegal were there for the taking, and like no threat in attack, no threat in attack. And what's his name? And as for Senegal, Sadio Mane. I mean, people say this man is a Ballon d'Or candidate, but he didn't even.
Oh no! Don't tell me. So if I say something that he played like crap, he played well.
Yeah, he was average. He wasn't like Ballon d'Or candidate that people say. He was above average player. He wasn't like a superstar in that team. And what's his name? And yeah, but the team is just. I mean, what's his name? The Niang he used to be AC Milan. He's terrible.
No. Jujuman, that's too nice. Jujuman, have you changed? What the hell? Nice. Niang is one of the worst football players I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, but I don't know how he made it to AC Milan. I still I don't know. And as for what's it called? Tunisia, the horrible penalty. I don't know what horrible penalty. And just on that match, the ref was good. He let a lot of things go, and he was good. That was a good ref. And as for the Algeria-Nigeria game, I mean, for Nigerians, I don't think you should take it personally, because I think Algeria is just better. Like there's no.
Thank you. No. They are
just better. And the one thing with, I think the mistake they made in that, because I watched the first half and I couldn't continue. It was painful to watch. But the mistake they made was, I think they should have gone with. You're not going to like this, WH, but I think they should have removed either. I say it's Chukwueze because Musa was better in that first half, but I think they should have removed Musa Chukwueze and added another midfielder, because 3 at their back is just. I mean, 3 midfielders is just.
No. Yeah, they were easily getting a run, man, for sure.
It's like they weren't making any chances, so they needed an extra guy in the midfield so that they can at least push forward. But Mikel should have been there. That's all I'm saying.
No.
I think he could have.
I will throw you out of this whole thing, man.
No, because look, they just needed someone there, and out of everyone else, Mikel has the most experience. I would have put him inside there. No.
Okay, you've talked.
No, last one. Okay, for Algeria, I mean, the number 9 is good. I praised him, but I see flaws in this guy. He had a lot of chances. he should have scored like at least 2 goals. So I don't know. Like I can see why he's like. I can see why he's not playing at the top, because it's like he had a lot of chances. He could have buried a lot.
Okay.
So and for the final against Senegal, I mean,
No, easy. We'll get to the final.
Uh,
Just chill. We'll get to the final. All right, Ahmed, thoughts on both semi-final games, bro? Ahmed.
Okay, starting with Tunisia, it was a crazy game. I think the penalty decision in extra time was the implementation of VAR was disappointing, because if you're gonna check VAR, he should have waited till the ball went out before he whistled the play dead, because Tunisia still had a chance to score off of that, like even after it went off his hand. And I think VR in general, like that was a goal. And more importantly, though, for Tunisia, that's the third own goal at AFCON, and they scored one in the World Cup. That's 4 own goals in like 6 competitive matches.
Set pieces.
Tunisia have a problem with own goals. I think it should be addressed. I don't know how you address an own goal issue, because it happened at the World Cup, 3 at AFCON. Like it's unacceptable, because if it wasn't for that own goal, like that could have gone to penalties, and Tunisia already went through on penalties before. They had a real chance in a shootout. And for Algeria, I was happy with Algeria's performance, except I think in the second half they went too defensive. They let Nigeria back into the game when they could have pressed more against Nigeria. But for number 9, the Baghdad guy, like he keeps missing chances. It was against Guinea, against the Ivory Coast, against now Nigeria. He's missed so many chances. Like he's fast and he's like he does other stuff well, but he can't keep missing chances like this. Especially when there's a player on the bench for Algeria who has 3 goals. Unnas should be in his place. And Mahrez, I think, played very well. Not besides just the free kick, because the first goal was
no. He played well.
Like he dribbled past so many people, and for the first goal, that was really good play from him.
Okay. Let's ride in here with forward thoughts, man, on both games, bro.
Yeah, so first of all was Senegal, Tunisia. I'll be real. I was watching the Wimbledon. But you know what? One thing I
Can't you watch both?
No, I had to prioritize that final because that final was a madness. But yeah, with the Senegal match, of course, one thing I have noticed about them throughout the tournament is they lack a bit of cohesion when it comes to the midfield and building attacks towards the front line. Yeah, they got a lot of good individuals, but they just look like a team of individuals, which I guess makes sense for international teams. But again, at this level, let's say look at like an Algeria or some of the other better international teams, they just look a lot more in tune with each other. And I feel like Senegal just missing a little bit of something. Yes, they got star players like Mane, but they feel like they just need a little bit more, and they're going to need a little bit more for the final. But that's just what I made of them. And now on to the second semi-final, and all right, well, cool. We'll start with Algeria, right? And let me set the scene, right? So I was getting a haircut on Tuesday, right? My barber was Algerian. He was talking about how we got a lot of quality players. Talking about the striker was a quality striker. He scores a lot of goals in the Algerian league or whatever. Yeah, that striker is a bum. I even went to him yesterday. I told him, yo, after the who did they play in the quarterfinals? Who did they play? They played
Ivory Coast.
Not Guinea. They
Ivory
played
Coast.
Oh yeah, so they made Ivory Coast. Yeah. When the man missed so let's be real, his hold up play is pretty decent. He makes good runs in behind. He gives a lot of good energy. Link up play is decent, but in terms of finishing chances, this guy is woeful. Combined when he missed that penalty and his head went, he started crying for like the next hour of the game. Even on the bench, man was still crying. During the penalty shootout, man's still crying. This is not a proper striker. Like, come on. Like, if you look at it, how many top strikers are there actually in African football right now? Hardly any, if any. Like, it's quite embarrassing. So and even today, again, the chance that he missed, especially that one in the first half, is just not a top quality striker. And I might cost him in the final. But again, what does help them is having a world-class player like Mahrez. And I've said it for a long time. He's one of the best African players in the world, probably just behind Mane, in my opinion, ahead of Mo Salah. Quality player, and quality players come up with clutch moments, and that's what he did in the last moment. And that's something that Nigeria lack. And obviously, as a Nigerian myself, proud Nigeria, I'm not going to slate the players or even the manager that much, even though I'm not questioning a lot of the manager's tactics, because ultimately we've not got the quality. We've not got anybody like Mahrez. Back in the day, maybe we used to have 2 or 3 Mahrezes in different positions. Yeah, we could compete.
So why did they play Oyekuru as a striker, bro? Why did they play Oyekuru as a striker?
Yeah, definitely. I could be critical of the manager because I didn't understand certain tactical decisions, even not playing too crazy in the last 16 game, or even not playing Ola Aina for the last 2 games. I mean, I think he's a better left back and right back than both of our options. Our wing backs are absolutely terrible. So I don't know why he's not playing Ola Aina. Even tactically, you should have seen earlier that it just wasn't working, and so he could have changed formation, like Juju said, maybe put an extra midfielder in. There's a lot of things he could have done differently, but ultimately I can't be too critical because the quality is just not there. Like, no matter what we've done tactically, we could have Mourinho, Guardiola, and Sir Alex Ferguson managing this team. They wouldn't be that great. That's just how it is. So I've come to accept it. it is what it is. The Nigerian talent pool is a long way from the likes of obviously Finidi George, JJ Okocha, Kanu, everybody back in the day, Taribo West. Like it's dropped off. Babayaro, it's sad. It's not even sad times. It's just you just got to accept realities, and yeah, we're not a top African side anymore. So it is what it is.
All right, Red, thoughts on both of the game?
Okay, so for the Senegal game, in Tunisia, like forward, I was also more into the test match, but I was skipping back and forth with it. No sympathy for Tunisia. They like when you score that, like own goals, like is your worst, is the top scorer against your team, like. And honestly, it was off a set piece too. If it was like from an actual open play, I can understand the own goal because sometimes like a ball can ricochet off you. There's nothing you do. But from like a set piece, you know the ball trajectory, you know where it's coming from. You should know not like he headed it straight into the goal. So
no, it happens, bro. It happens.
It does. I don't want to be too harsh, but at the same time, like I'm more impressed with Senegal. I felt like this tournament, even though attacking wise, I didn't feel like they were up to par with the expectations that we expected from like Mane and the front line. But like defensively and as a unit, they're solid. They're hard to break down. They work hard, so I feel like that's going to help them a lot in the final. Because when in the finals, I feel like that mentality that they have, the fact that they kept a clean sheet going into it, it's going to be some good momentum. I believe Koulibaly is going to be missing the final, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a boost for Algeria. Which to go to Algeria, Nigeria. To be honest, I felt like between these two teams, there's one difference maker, and that's Mahrez. Like on both goals Algeria scored were because of Mahrez's brilliance, nothing else. So like, there's nothing really Nigeria could have done because like Algeria just had one World Cup. Like, I'm gonna say he's world class because this guy, honestly, for the past 3 years, he's been pretty consistent and he's gone under the radar since 2016. From that until now, aside from the World Cup, them missing out on the World Cup qualification, he's been like among the elite players in the world. I don't think there's, aside from Messi, who's a better right winger than him. Not counting, he's actually, I'd argue that he could be possibly a more complete player than Salah. Salah's a better goal scorer, no doubt. Salah for goal scoring, I think he's better. But like from a creative, from a point of view, from a dribbling point of view, like what Mahrez did to the left back today, I haven't seen Salah do that all year, to be honest with you. Like but like I don't want to get into that discussion right now, but like I just want to give Mahrez his credit. So yeah, like it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be an incredible final too. Like we're like Algeria and Senegal. Like this is gonna be quality. Tough luck for Tunisia and Nigeria. Like I said, Nigeria, it was just Mahrez that was a difference maker. Tunisia, they just have to work on that defense. They have to work on their play on set pieces because it's set pieces is what drags them down. Like they're just so poor off of them. I don't know why. I think it's their lack of organization, or maybe they just don't have the quality center backs for the big bodies in the back that could actually like deal with that situation. But yeah, so.
I'll just tell you something. So Musa said Mahrez is not a goal scorer.
Yeah, it's not that he's. That's why I said like maybe Salah's a better goal scorer. Like that from that aspect of his game, he's better than Mahrez. But I feel like from the other aspects, like when I see his dribbling, his creativity, his work, like I felt like Mahrez did way more for Algeria than what Salah did for Egypt. And it's no dig at Salah, like it's because Salah's still an incredible player. He can dribble, he can create, he can do all this stuff. I just feel like Mahrez is at a higher caliber than Salah, with all due respect to Salah.
Well, today we saw him in a more offensive role than usual. Usually Mahrez is doing a lot more defensive work, but he was higher up the pitch today.
Okay.
Yep. And that, sorry, HH, and anybody that scores a 90 plus 5 minute goal, like that's clutch in a semi-final for your country.
Clutch. All right, so let's break it. So let me bring in Muntaha here and the week, and then switch up guys with some guys waiting in the studio. Remember, guys who are waiting in the studio, don't worry, I will bring you in. Let's just get the guys in, and we'll do a quick swap. So Muntaha, give us your quick thoughts on both of the quick round.
Bro, first of all, I'll just speak about Senegal, bro. Senegal is a defensive team, and they've been structured in that way, you know. So, like, in a sense, like, you won't see a beauty of, like, Senegal team, the Mane is cutting inside, scoring goals. Nah, you won't see that. It's more of a pragmatic approach. The way, they know that, like, at the end of the day, we have to just win the games. It doesn't matter if you win by hook or by crook, you know. So this is what's happening with Senegal. I just want to speak about the flipping Nigeria game, bro. Bro, don't you
Wait,
think
you
so?
have no,
NDD,
wait, Muntao. What's there to say? Nigeria were crap, Algeria were better. What
bro,
else is there to say?
bro, like Aina should be there, man. Like in this kind of game, bro, you need that guy. And on top of that, bro, the way Nigeria, why you committed that foul for? Why? Okay, if you committed the foul, you could have done
No,
much
no,
better,
Muntao,
bro,
no,
because
Muntao, don't do that, don't do that. Nigeria would have lost either way. Don't say, oh, if they no. They Mahrez put everybody out of their misery. Come on, bro. No, don't. No. That's don't do mentality, please don't.
Bro, look, man, I hate you, brother. Look, man, I'm just saying one thing. You could have done defensively much better job, and you know what? By setting up the wall, yeah, you could have done, bro. Like, I think so. At like 94th minute, Nigeria was a bit more like reluctant to focus on the wall and defense. This is what I believe, bro. They could have done much better job. Look, the goal, the shot. Nobody's saying that. Nobody in the flipping goalkeeper world. I haven't seen like nobody can save that shot. But what I'm trying to tell you is that you could have created more havoc, like by placing some bodies because you're giving him the angle to shoot, bro. Like it was like a push angle for Mahrez and from his trademark shot. That's what I'm just trying to look. Man, Algeria was a deserving side, but like the way people are saying, "Oh, Algeria was so better," Oh my, no, it wasn't like that case. And in terms of that, you'll see in final, bro. People are saying, "Oh, like Koulibaly is missing," bro. That won't hamper them much because in final,
No, chill, don't worry. We will get
okay,
to the
okay,
final
okay,
afterward.
bro.
Don't worry, we'll get there. But I just want to just roll with you, okay? Don't worry, guys. Okay, so we'll just do a quick sum because I want to bring in some of these other guys in here. So bear with me while I just try and I'm just trying to walk this thing right now. So Dore, guys are waiting in the studio. Dore, I will bring you guys back in. All right, let's bring in your boy Daniel. Let's bring in your boy. Okay, why is my thing freezing? Bear with me, guys. Don't worry. I'm just trying to bring some guys in from the studio. What the hell is happening? Okay, and Hardcore and Hazem. All right. So very briefly, Daniel, Seriki, just give us your brief thoughts on the game.
Thought like Nigeria, like Senegal. I thought Senegal were poor in that game, and Nigeria. I think it was hard luck by them, and I can't wait to the final. I wish Senegal all the best because of Mane.
Okay. And so for the Nigeria game, thoughts on the Nigeria game then? Okay, Abdullah, thoughts. Give me your thoughts on both semifinals, bro.
I think for the Senegal Tunisia, Senegal was just lucky because that was a penalty. There's no argument. I don't know why the VAR canceled the penalty.
Well, but it's ball to hand. Is it hand to ball? It was ball to hand.
No. The new rules was changed already by June the 1st. They said anybody that hits your hand, either outside the box or inside the box, is a penalty. The rules had already been changed. Okay. So that's a clear penalty. It's a clear one. No argument about it. It's a clear penalty. I don't know why the VAR doesn't give that as a penalty. The referee pointed the penalty, then he went to the VAR to check, and it was like, I'm going to overturn it. Why?
Wait, but if that's the case, then
wait, easy. No, chill. So I'd like give us your thoughts on the Nigeria game and Algeria and how Algeria beat them.
It was an heartbreak, man. It was totally heartbreak, man. But I don't know why. What was Ndidi doing? Why do you foul a player 94th minute, 50 seconds to finish up the match? Why? That's it. That's a man management because these people are good in set piece. Why do you foul him?
Okay. But Abdullah, tell me, do you honestly believe that Nigeria would have been able to beat Algeria in extra time? Do you honestly believe?
Absolutely, yeah. Because we have.
Wow, come on, man. Be real.
Let me explain. Because in the second half, Algeria wasn't playing anything. In the second half, they weren't playing anything. They were only kicking the gear in the 90-something minute. That was when they were kicking up the gear. And the coach, I don't know why the coach why was he playing Musa? He should have played Enyi Oyeku instead of taking out Chukwueze. Why?
No. It was a a stupid so that he definitely
Exactly. Why do you take
no.
off crazy?
But let me ask you. But overall, who was the better team overall in that 90 minutes? Who was the better
It
team?
was Algeria. Algeria was ready to play. They showed the ambition of winning. We're just packing the balls, playing on
There you
counter.
go. So you can blame the manager, you can blame lack of players and everything, but one team was trying to win fully, another team was defending, and that same team only got a goal through VAR.
Exactly. We didn't even show any ambition of winning. That was my problem was like why were we defending from the start of the game? Why? We should have attacked Algeria.
Okay.
Attack them.
All right. So let me bring in Hardcore, bro. Give us your thoughts on both semis, bros, Mr. Hardcore.
All right. So to be honest, is my mic okay, HH?
Yes, it's okay, bro. Just talk, bro.
All right. To be honest, I just want to confirm to everybody, Nigeria are certified ballers. Today's
bro? Don't take the bait.
The reason why is and I'll say this, in last minute, in every big
That's
game.
absolutely crap, bro. KT, that's absolutely crap. You're saying a team to reach the semi-finalists.
Listen, hello.
Let him talk. Okay, talk. Have you say.
Let him get it out, man.
Nigeria in big games battle. They battled against Argentina in the last minute, and they battled against Algeria in the last minute. And I feel like this has been a curse for Nigeria for the past couple of years now, because every time, let's say they have a big game, they just don't know how to cope with the pressure. You get what I'm trying to say? They don't know how to, handle that pressure. And it resembles kind of Barcelona kind of ish, because like
how the hell are you making this back to Barcelona and Messi?
Let me tell you why. Because like for Nigeria, right? Like they're prone, like a lot of Africans.
No. Okay. Hardcore, just focus on the game. Give me your thoughts on the game. Don't bring in Barcelona. Just focus on the game specifically. That's all I need.
To be honest, I would say this: that Mahrez free kick was amazing. It was out of this world, and because of that, Mahrez, we're gonna build a statue for you in Ghana, no question about it. But anyways, no. But anyways, what I'm saying is, that was a good game. I think Algeria played way better than them. I said it all tournament. Nigeria did not deserve to get to the semifinals. They've done nothing to prove to me that they should win the AFCON. And then
this bill,
No. Okay. This is me saying this. Okay, so the Senegal game, and honestly, and I'm just being honest, HH, I knew Tunisia was crap. I don't know why Ghana did not beat Tunisia, but I knew Tunisia was crap. And to see Tunisia beat us, I just feel even more sadder, because a team like Senegal can beat Tunisia and we can't even beat Tunisia. Like, wow. Okay. But anyways, yeah, that's my opinion.
Okay. All right. All right. So final. By the time that we come here to do this next Sunday, we will be we would have known who are the 2019 AFCON winners. So it is Sadio Mane against Riyad Mahrez. That's what it's going to be. So let's start off first with your boy here, Muntaha. So Muntaha, how do you see this final going? I know who's going to win, but Muntaha, how do you see this final going? Senegal against Algeria on African soil. So
yeah, bro, I think so, man. Look, Algeria was good, man. Like the whole tournament, they showed like they are the attacking team. They know how to attack. And all those things, yeah, man. And at times there was so like some of the decisions was like, in favor of Algeria. Like I don't want to just comment on that stuff, but not from the perspective of the final, bro. I think so. This is a time for Senegal to win this thing. I'll tell you why, bro. If you see Senegal, it's not beautiful. They don't play a beautiful football. They don't play a flair football. But they know how to win this time. They know, bro. If you see some of the fixtures, I know they lost to Algeria in group stage, okay, and there was Koulibaly, but this is completely different ball game, and I still believe that like
Musa, how do they cope with no Koulibaly in the final? How do they cope,
bro? It's not just the pressure on Algeria and what do you call the flipping Algeria defense attack, bro. Even they have to also look for some of the physical battles as well, bro. Like for me, Algeria was good team, but I still like I'm not much satisfied with them, and I still believe that, and it's anybody who can win the final. I can't see Algeria is just the favorite team, because even they struggle against Ivory Coast. People forget about that. like speed, dynamism against that defense. Look, Ben Nasser is good. I'm not denying it as a midfielder. But nah, man, like it's not going to be that easy job.
Okay,
So,
okay,
yeah,
okay,
man.
okay. So how do you
As
see the final going then? How do you see the final going?
okay, man. You know what? For me, I think so. Senegal will score first goal in the first half. Algeria will come back, score one. It will go to extra time, and somehow Senegal will get another clutch goal and win this competition. Yeah, this is what I see.
Okay, so,
How it
so
is.
you're saying 2-1 to Senegal.
Yes.
All right, okay then. All right, forward. How do you see this final going, man? Senegal against Thingy.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious Algeria are going to win this. I actually did pick them at the start of the tournament.
Wait. Why is this obvious?
It's obvious because they're the most cohesive team in the tournament. They've shown them throughout the tournament. Yeah, in the last couple of games, they've kind of struggled in the second half a bit, but they've dominated from the start. I feel like they maybe have maybe they're not great front runners in terms of them like closing out the game. They should have against Ivory Coast, but obviously their striker missed that penalty. Against us, they kind of just got complacent because we weren't really showing much of a threat. Then we got one lucky penalty, and there was a bit of a. Well, then they just had to then step on the gas again, and obviously they got it in the last minute. But I just feel like against Senegal, especially with Koulibaly missing, it's going to be a massive miss for them. They've also got that Unas guy to come off the bench. He was very good against Ivory Coast. He probably would have done damage against us today if we went to extra time. And yeah, this is going to be the battle of the two best African players on the planet. They're fighting it out in Salah's hometown. They're going to show who's the best African player in the world right now. So
Hey,
for
shots
me,
fired, shots fired.
I know. I mean, it's not
fired.
even shots fired. I'm just speaking facts. I mean, if people want to perceive it as shots fired, then I mean, they can. Obviously, shout out to here. He sees otherwise. He's really there listening, probably typing in the comments as we speak. But yeah, for me, Mahrez and Mane, that's where it's at. And yeah, I think Mahrez. People are. I mean, so I didn't just also talk on Mahrez a little bit quickly. I think people are saying that because he hadn't had the best season with Pep Guardiola in his first season, maybe he won't. Maybe he's not as good as people thought he was. But let's not forget he won the league almost single-handedly in terms of attacking with Leicester. And also, let's not forget that Bernardo Silva in his first season with Man City didn't have many games. Pep Guardiola maybe didn't fancy him as much, but in the second season, we saw how much of an impact he had. Probably the best player of the season, also won Nations League. I feel like Mars will have a similar second season under Pep Guardiola. And again, obviously, just pertaining to the final itself, I feel like unless Mane does something extraordinary, I don't really see where Senegal going to get their goals from or get any impetus to really threaten this Algerian team, especially going down Algeria's right with a Atal, very good right back, a young right back. Feghouli, he kind of plays like a right attacking, and obviously Mahrez. They're going to cause Senegal a lot of issues. So, yeah, I see Algeria probably winning 2-1 in the end, probably scoring a late goal to clutch it out. And yeah, for me, they're the best African team right now. I picked them for the beginning to win. I don't see any reason why that's going to change now. So, yeah, Algeria to win in 90 minutes.
Okay. Red.
Yeah, no. So I'm gonna say how the game. I see the game playing out in my head. I see Senegal coming in with like tight defensively, even though they're missing Koulibaly. I think they're going to overcompensate because they're missing Koulibaly. So, in my opinion, I think they're going to make it very hard for Algeria to score. But at the same time, I don't see how like Senegal are going to score because they haven't convinced me from an attacking point of view. I felt like they've been very fortunate with some of the goals they've gotten. Their matches have been like well deserved when they win them because they like that they're defensive, the way they work as a team, structured, the way they're organized. I feel like they're very well organized. But the issue is I don't feel like they have the fluidity in attack. I agree with forward. The only way I could see a Senegal goal coming through is from like a moment of genius from Mane where he's the difference. So I see this going to penalties, and to be honest with you, on penalties, I'm going with Algeria because this tournament has showed me Senegal are awful on penalties.
Yep.
They are awful. Like yeah, like they missed three. They missed three. Two of them are for Mane, though. Fair enough for Mane. He said that I'm not going to be taking penalties anymore. He's not really. He's never been like really prolific penalty scorer. Like he's a penalty shot taker. So I honestly just see Algeria just barely edging it. I feel like these teams are very close to each other. I feel like just Algeria going forward, they just have a bit more cohesion between them, and they'll be able to mesh well. So yeah, I see this penalties Algeria.
All right. Juju man, how do you see it going, man?
With this game, I mean, I urge everyone to take the week off. There's no point of watching this game. It's Algeria going to win. It's not even like I saw the game.
Why are you
Oh my God.
why are you disrespecting Senegal? Why?
No, it's just like we have to face reality. Like there's no point of lying to ourselves. It's just reality. And what's
I
it
love
called?
Gigi, man.
I saw the game against Tunisia. I mean, one thing about Tunisia is they're terrible at set pieces. I think Hardcore or someone mentioned it in the World Cup. They were awful, and it's just like the fact that
I
and
mentioned
they
it.
didn't have any. They didn't have any attacking threat, and the fact that Senegal struggled to beat Tunisia, I mean, should be in a straight game, but they struggle. And with Algeria, Algeria have the momentum. Look, the one thing that I give Algeria ahead of even if Koulibaly was there, I just feel Algeria have a structure. They have a structure. With Senegal, that game I saw, it's just I don't know what's going on in defense. There was the
Oh, no,
three
no,
at
no,
least
no.
in
They were
that first
awful. They
half.
were
I
awful
mean that second
defensively. They
half.
were awful.
Yeah, in that second half, I saw two instances where Tunisia had like one-on-ones, like players were wide open on the other side, and if that happens against Algeria, it's game over. And to end it, the only hope they have is that number 9, Balali, it just misses a lot, and if this guy misses again, I don't know, It's just a brick. It's just a brick.
Okay.
Yeah,
And also Nyong is trash as well.
yeah.
Okay. Hardcore. Final thoughts. Give it to me.
To be honest, I'm so happy that these two are playing. But what I will say is
Wait.
this.
Why are you happy that these two are playing? Why?
Because I rather see Senegal and Algeria play than Nigeria. I mean, I love you guys. I'm not saying that I don't love you, but I don't feel like they've done anything to deserve it. But what I'm saying about the finals is, I think that Senegal can win this final by mental strength. With their mental strength, I think they can win it. Algeria, to me, I look at them and I'm just studying them closely. Their mental strength is not as that such as Senegal is. You get what I'm trying to say? And I just feel like with Senegal's mental strength, their tallness, and their aerial ability, it can cause a lot of problems to Algeria. You know what I'm trying to say? Because Algeria, they work with a lot of quick, fast, pacey players. You know what I'm trying to say? They don't really have aerial ability type players, maybe 2 or 1 or something like that, but they don't really have a lot of aerial ability players. So this will be interesting, but I personally do think, and I'm just being honest, I can see Senegal winning this by mental strength. I really can see Senegal winning this. Yeah. And I don't know
So give me a score. Give me a score.
I'm going to say it's gonna be 2-1 Senegal. 2-1 Senegal, yeah.
Oh, wow.
2-1. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Abdullahi, man, give us your thoughts. What's going to happen in this final, bro?
Well, I'm gonna go with Senegal.
Why?
I'll tell you why. Because Algeria only plays in the first half. The second half, they don't show up. I've watched the Hamas from the beginning of the tournament to the end. Though I choose them as favorite, but if you watch them closely, they only play in the first half. In the second half, they don't turn around. And when you have Sadio Mane in the Senegal team, when you have Mane, he can turn up anytime, any day.
What are they going to do without Koulibaly in defense?
Yeah, without Koulibaly is a miss for them. But I'm pretty sure the coach has a replacement already for him. He knows. He could play, if Idrissa Gana Gueye can play as a defender. He could play as a defender.
But he's going to be as good as Koulibaly. You're talking about one of the best defenders in the world, bro.
I know. They will struggle against Koulibaly. They will go defensive against Algeria, but they are very good on counter-attacking because they have Ismaila Sarr. They have Sadio Mane. The only problem I'm having with Senegal is the striker and the hand. That guy is a break. He's a break.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's still playing. So I'm gonna go with Senegal because when you have Mane in that team, that man is a match winner. When you have him in the team, he's a match winner.
Okay. So give me a score. What's the score going to be?
I'm gonna go with 3-0. Hat-trick for Sadio Mane.
Wait, excuse me?
Yeah.
Wait, can I add one thing?
Chill. 3-0.
Yeah, hat-trick for Sadio Mane.
Wait, can I add one sentence? Like, I know we're supposed to promote like African coaches, but that Senegalese coach is not up to standard. I'm sorry, he's not that good because this team is not playing. This team is not playing well.
But you can't just write up Senegal that way. When you have Mane in that team, I can assure you, he's gonna turn up.
He's struggling against Tunisia, and he has all those players that play top flight in Europe. He's
Mane
a
has been their best player from the beginning of the tournament since the end to the final now.
Okay.
I have assurance he's turning up.
Okay, fair. All right. Look, a lubrication ain't happening in the final, bro. But that's fine. But all right, Ahmed, give us your thoughts on this, man.
Firstly, I just want to mention that Algeria made no substitutions against Nigeria, which I think is a testament to the players' stamina. But
Okay.
more importantly than that, about the game, I think it's all going to depend on whether Baghdad starts or not, the number 9, because he's missing too many chances. Like he can't start. Unas on the bench has scored 3 goals, and Baghdad can't score at all. And he's been starting all these games and playing most of them. If he starts and he plays most of the game, Senegal's going to win. Like Sadio Mane is going to be enough to push Senegal over the line. I think it's going to be like 2-1. But if Baghdad doesn't start or he gets subbed off earlier on than usual, I think Algeria are going to win on extra time 3-2.
So you're going with Algeria 3-2 after extra time. That's how you're gonna roll.
Because I feel like okay. I'll just assume that Baghdad gets subbed off, and also the Algerian coach is African. So if you're to support African coaches, the Algerian coach is Algerian.
Okay, that's fair. All right, so before we go to the next thing, look, in my view, I'm not one of these sad people that are like, oh yeah, let me support the West Africans, man, because West Africa, yeah, man. Nah, this made the best team win. Made the best team win, and I think this isn't about West Africa against North Africa. This isn't about the Arabic world against the West African world. No, it's not about that. It's just the final. And these, I think, overall have been the 2 best teams. Algeria have been the best team overall, but I think Senegal have also shown their quality as well in games. Although I think Algeria has definitely been by far the best team. I think,
but
if Koulibaly played, I think we would have had a very interesting final that I would have given the edge to. No Koulibaly, I'm sorry. It sways very heavily in Algeria's fashion. I think it'll be an interesting final, but I think from what I saw of Senegal, especially in their previous game, they're missing something. There's a cutting edge they're missing. And let's just be real. They're in the final through an own goal. So
same thing happened against Ghana. Same thing.
So I just feel that overall, like if quality-wise, I just think Algeria are more cohesive. Now, this may go all the way to penalties because I think once it's a final, it's not really about the better team because there's so much in place. So it may go to penalties, but I think overall, I do still feel that Algeria are going to actually go ahead and actually win this. So
wait, Double H, why is everyone giving Senegal like a respect? Like the team I saw, I don't think they stand a chance in this fight.
Bro, Judgment. See, the thing is that based on what I've seen, Algeria should snipe them. Algeria should beat them like 2-0 clearly. But because it's a final, you just never know. Because when it's a final, trust me, those Algerians, remember, Algeria have not won this since 1990. So they know that they can make history. So because Algeria know that Zidane is going to be watching and Benzema is going to be watching. Who knows? Zidane may even turn up there or something. He may even give them like a little video call or something. So when you're dealing with so much pressure, where history can be made, you become much more nervous. So you won't play as freely as you played in those previous games. So the key thing to this final, because it could be Senegal's first ever AFCON, Algeria's first since 1990. It's about who deals best with the pressure. That's the key thing, is which people will deal best with the pressure, and then that is how we can then roll in through. All right, so
wait, HH, before you move on about AFCON, before we go to the next topic, is Ziyech needs to be inducted, right? Like he's getting inducted. That's coming. Okay, let's make sure. And about the North Africa, West Africa thing, in terms of North Africa, bro, that's just how it like. I said this before. Arab teams support Arab teams. Like in the Algerian stands, you see Tunisian flags, you see Egyptian flags, you see Moroccan flags, you see all the Arab nations supporting them. Like that's just how it is for North Africa, at least.
No, but it shouldn't be like that.
Bro.
No, to be honest, it shouldn't be like that. Like, come on, man. Like, at the end of the day, you should support a team, which is better. And I don't understand this kind of concept. Like, like how can you support another nation? Though you have like for me, it's like completely. Like I can't. It's like like I'm supporting Pakistan or Bangladesh. Like it's that kind of thing, bro.
No. Yes, but there's no blood between most of these Arab teams.
The women of the Arab countries. That's probably why too. West Africa.
My thing is like for me, that doesn't make any sense to me. It's like you're either Tunisian, you're either Algerian, or you're Moroccan. If you're Moroccan, you have no business supporting Algeria because that's not your country. if you're Algerian, you have no business supporting Tunisia because that's what you're. Just not your country. You can't say you support them. Oh, because we are Arab. No, that's not the thing. Like for me, Nigeria and Ghana share a lot of culture. They share a lot of culture.
I agree.
But I'm not going to now support Ghana because Ghana is a different country. And trust me, Nigeria and Ghana probably share a lot more culture and stuff than any of the North African countries.
Facts.
I'm not going to be like, hey man, I hope that if Ghana played Algeria in a final, I won't support Ghana. Are you crazy? No. But
it's different.
I know you won't.
It's not the same for everyone, but I'm just telling you that's just how it is. The Arab
no.
Like, they're tied together through this.
But all I'm saying is that anyone that's viewed that way is foolish because
it's foolish. Yeah,
there are different countries, and that is, and for me, I think that is just dangerous. Saying that, this is now the Arabs against the Arabs. I was like, what? No, it's Algeria versus flipping Senegal. So Senegal.
The other thing with this AFCON is the other thing with this AFCON is the empty seats. I'm not sure, like. I'm not sure if all the AFCONs are like that, but they need to fix that. You cannot have a tournament where majority of the stadium is empty and there's just few fans. They need to fix that. I don't know if what's going on. Maybe I don't know why. Like the host nations.
The main reason why that will happen is because Egypt was actually a last minute alteration. They went to have they meant to host it elsewhere. I'm not too sure where, but because of that, a lot of fans weren't able to get tickets to then move obviously over to Egypt. So I think that was the main issue.
Yeah,
but again,
because usually when you want to book a plane or anything like that, it's much cheaper to book months in advance. And because it was shifted to Egypt at short notice, a lot of the fans, they were outpriced because like they had to book it essentially like, well, I don't know, I think it was like a month beforehand they changed, or like it was very short term. So that's why the organization of this tournament in particular, this AFCON, was there was a lot of like backroom struggles. So like that's probably why that happened.
All right, okay. Let's just write this. So very, very, very briefly here. This is just a very brief thing. So apparently, Jerry Maguire, aka Harry Maguire, is set to be, I believe, the most expensive defender in history. 80 mil. That's what we're hearing. So, put very simply, do you think that Harry Maguire in today's market, just keep in mind, today's market where that dude Coutinho went for 150. In today's market, do you believe that Maguire is worth 80 mil? And do you think that United should be paying 80 mil for Harry Maguire? Let me start first with Muntaha.
Bro, HH, bro. For me, man, like, come on, man. 80 million pounds for a centre back, bro,
it's a lot of cash, bro. Wait. Didn't Bill go for 80 when Real Madrid bought him?
90.
Bro. At that, bro. He was 90 million pounds. But at that time, he was like best player. I mean, like one of the best players at that time in that season for Spurs and for an English Premier League. Are you telling me that Harry Maguire is the best centre back in England? Or like in English Premier League? Oh, come on, bro. We have saw like delete. Like even Juventus is going to buy him for 75 million euros. Oh, bro, but there is some class. I don't think so. Like, this Harry Maguire, he's that good. Obviously, he's upgrade over Smalling and Lindelof. Obviously, but come on, man, that it should be a bit more wise. Like, so you know what? If I would be a United fan, I would be pissed off by now because instead of spending 80, I would have spent more 40 and bought Koulibaly. Like it makes more sense, to like, bro. Like for me, Harry Maguire. What do you think? How much he can give you and offer you? Like you finished first spot. Correct me if I'm wrong. Last thing, do you think you guys can finish top 4? I don't think so. Even if you keep Paul Pogba in your team. So, bro, I think so. I won't say it's waste of money, but like, come on, man, that's overpriced, man. How can you buy that? For me, 65 max. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So before I go to hardcore, now this dude has just put this in here. So is this real that we're seeing here? Hudson-Odoi to Bayern, is that real?
Yeah. So I've got it on good authority from a good source at the club that he's basically questioning whether he wants to stay with Chelsea. He's basically not looking to sign the new contract. And the whisper that we're hearing from the club is that if he doesn't want to sign the new contract, then they're happy to sell him right now so they can cash in rather than him leaving on the free next summer. So it's all up in the air. I know, we just have to wait and see, but it's not looking too good.
And wow, I think that's awful.
Chill. All right. Hardcore. Jerry Maguire, is he worth 80 mil?
I think this is. I would say maybe 50. I would say 50. Yeah.
50 into this
Yeah.
market. Okay.
Yeah. I think a lot of these players that come from a lot of these like kind of mid-table teams, they still need time to prove themselves. I strongly believe, for example, how Felix, I strongly believe he was not even 126 million. Like I strongly believe this guy is like 60 or around the 40 million mark and so forth. But I feel like, and I can understand the 80 million because I feel like the way the market works right now, you have to pay 80 million. You get what I'm saying?
You have
Because
to.
yes,
See, Neymar changed everything. The Neymar deal changed everything.
everything. Yeah. Actually, you know what? I don't really think it's the name. I think it's the De Bruyne deal. The De Bruyne deal to City, I think, changed a lot of things because that to me was the first major, expensive signing in City's history.
No, bro. Hardcore. Neymar went for flipping two. That was a ridiculous spike. And once that happened,
I agree.
it just changed the dynamics. So once it hit that 200 million barrier, it just changed everything. So come on, it's like it's a surprise.
Okay. But I mean, anyways, all I'm saying is for me, Harry Maguire, right? I think this is a really good signing for United. They've now solved their defensive problems that I think they've needed to solve for like the past 2 years now. Playing under Smalling and Jones, like for me, I don't qualify. Smalling's a brick. I don't qualify him as a world-class player. And I just feel like Jones, a partnership of Jones and this guy, Maguire and Lindelof. I think Maguire and Lindelof is a really good partnership. I think Baye and Lindelof is a good partnership. I think Baye and Maguire is a good partnership. I just feel like this is an amazing signing for United. And I was gonna say this, that I rate Maguire. I really rate Maguire. What he's done with Leicester, I really rate him. I think he can be a world-class player. And to be honest, for me, I think the way United was playing preseason, if they can play like that, I think they can win the Premier League. They have a chance. They have a chance.
No, relax.
Bro.
I'm not saying I'm not saying that 100% they're gonna win it. I say they have a chance, meaning that it's a possibility. You never know. They could do it. They could do it. Anything can happen in the Premier League season. So that's what I'm saying. Like that, this is an amazing signing. I'm so happy. They
amazing signing. You mean? Oh my god.
Okay, no. Let's move on. Let's move on. All right, Red. Jerry Maguire for 50 mil.
Okay.
For 80 mil. Good, bad, overpriced. What's up?
No, that's good. That's actually they got him. I felt they paid a little bit more, but United need this urgency. They need it urgently. So it's good that they paid this money and got reinforced the back line. This has been due for like 3 years. HH, they've needed to like make signs like this, and the only reason why he went for this price, by the way, it's not the fact that his quality alone is worth 80 million. It's because one, he's English, which getting a top quality English player inside England is very valuable because you hit two quotas. You hit the national quota because every team has to maintain some sort of English player. So to have one of those players also be a starter for your team guaranteed, not like for example Drinkwater at Chelsea. Like to be a starter for your team, that's very valuable from that aspect. Aside from that, Harry Maguire, I think he's pretty accomplished. So he's definitely a rated center back. I thought personally they would get him for 60. I think 60 would have been a very fair deal. But to be honest with you, United can't waste any more time. Like they're like dreaded rivals just won the Champions League and we're 97 points in the league, which is better than anything United's ever produced. So like that's very bad. And plus they finished sixth beneath everybody. No, and I'd be surprised if United stopped there. I think they need more signings. 80 million.
For sure.
It's too much, but like to be honest with you, it's needed. I don't think if you're a United fan, I don't think you should be too concerned. Just be happy that you got the signing. Who cares what everybody else says? Hopefully we get to see an United come back next season. Maybe not what's it called, win the league, but at least let's see the trajectory start going back up instead of just constantly on the decline. So yeah, overall I think good buy. Too overpriced, but not but needed.
Okay, all right, forward.
Yeah, so as a Chelsea fan seeing this transfer, I'm pretty happy. I must say. Now, just to weigh up the pros and cons of it. The pros, it is technically 60 million plus 20 million add-ons, which I still think is quite a lot. But what you are getting is someone who's proved themselves at the World Cup stage internationally. He had a really good tournament at the World Cup, I will say. He's also shown that he can obviously do it in the Premier League to a certain extent. Got good physical attributes, and he's obviously very good at bringing the ball out from the back, which is something that United have struggled with in recent times. And to be fair, in the last 2 windows, he was scouted and had offers or interest certainly in him from Pep Guardiola and Jose Mourinho. So if those 2 managers are looking at you, then you're definitely doing something right. Now, to look at the cons, just from a playing aspect, he is quite slow. And if you're gonna partner him up with him and Lindelof, I feel that's not a very athletic back line in terms of like pacing behind, and especially in the Premier League, you're gonna get caught out quite a few times. So I don't know if that's really the best partnership. Maybe a fit Eric Bailly would be a better partnership for him. But the main con, which I feel like everybody needs to take into aspect, is look at the market now. Look at the centre backs that are potentially available in this market. You got Koulibaly, you got De Ligt, you got Umtiti potentially from Barcelona. You got Alderweireld. Those guys are all cheaper options, all better proven at the highest level in Champions League football, which Maguire's never played in. And guys who you can go into Man United right now and make a massive effect right now, who have been the leaders for the clubs that they play for currently, and they can go and change that back four. Because right now, United need instant change right now. Maguire at 26, good centre back, but is he really going to take them to the next level? Not in my opinion. No, I don't think he's the guy to really lead them forward. So again, that's a Chelsea fan knowing that they're our main rivals of top four. I don't know what our hardcore's talking about them challenge for the title. I think that's just absolutely foolish. But yeah, that nigga's tapped. But yeah, they ain't challenge for no league title. For me, they're challenging for top four of us, and yeah, to see them get Maguire again, good centre back, but nothing that's gonna strike fear into my heart, honestly. So yeah, again, given the options available, I just feel like spending 60 million plus 20 million in add-ons is just not worth it in the current market.
Griezmann.
The signing is, I mean, I don't think it makes a difference. The good thing is Man United have improved. They have a decent right back, decent left back, but this doesn't change anything about the club because they don't stand a chance of winning Champions League. They can probably try the other cups in England, but I mean, no, the EPL.
They're playing Europa next season, bro.
Yeah, but it's like it doesn't even make a difference, and the price is like the price they paid. I mean, I'm assuming they're using the Liverpool approach where they're buying players from the smaller EPL teams. But what's it called? I'm not sure what's it called. Ole is the right manager because he hasn't proven anything, and I consider him a rookie, and he hasn't done anything to justify why he's the current Man United.
Wait. Pep was a rookie, and look at what he became.
Yeah, but what's it called? Ole hasn't this season will be critical for him because this, I think like if you look at Liverpool, it's just a bunch of average players that are.
Just keep it with United. Yeah. Maguire is a great improvement. He's a way better improvement than he's way better than Jones and Smallings, and Wan-Bissaka way better than Ashley Young. It's an improvement, and the one thing is the manager. I mean, if all is good, then they should finish top four, but he's not, because you look at other teams, for example, Liverpool, average players and great manager, and look at what they accomplished. So it's all down to all this. But with the signings, the Maguire is a good signing. It's a good signing considering what they have. Okay. All right. Abdullahi, man, Jeremy Maguire for 80 mil. How much is it going to help improve United?
Not really, Double H, because he's a good defender, but we have a lot of top defender outside this in this Europe. You have Ruben Dias from is it from Benfica? Am I right? Or from Porto? From Benfica. He's a Portugal player. That's a quality defender.
Yeah,
40 million. So you have a very good. You have Kalidou Koulibaly. Next year is gonna come down to 70, 65, because they're not gonna sell him 150. So that if you can buy like Ruben Dias, Koulibaly, those defenders can help United go forward. But Maguire, he has proven a lot in Leicester City. But has he shown you that there's gonna be a good defender in EPL? No. He's a very good central back, but I won't say a top-notch defender that's gonna take United way forward. He's a very good defender, very, very good. But am I convinced that he's gonna be a good defender? No. I can still say, cause not being biased about Chelsea fan, but I could tell you Zuma is far better than Harry Maguire.
Yes. No, of course he is. Of course he is.
Yeah,
Of course he is.
Kozuma is far better than Harry Maguire. Far better. I will put Kozuma in any EPL team. United, Man City,
Yes.
Liverpool,
Right.
Tottenham.
Kozuma is
far
very
better.
underrated. People are sleeping on that boy, Kozuma.
Yeah, Kozuma is a very, very good defender than Harry Maguire. Buying him 80 million. No. Doesn't worth that money. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. Ahmed, Maguire, how good is the signing?
Well, the market's obviously changed. Like before, 80 million could get you Cristiano. Now this, but I mean, I think he'll fit well in the United system. I think he'll be an improvement on what they have. But the 80 million, it's more of a, like, I don't know, just because the market's so inflated now. Like before, because of this oil money and then the Neymar deal and the City and PSG transfers. I mean, these days you could sell a bag of potatoes to PSG and they'll give you like 40 million for it. But overall, though, in general, I think that Maguire is good at United, and it was good for them to get him because there aren't that many center backs that United could go for that other clubs won't going for, and they don't have the same clout that they used to have.
Okay, so how much better do you think it's gonna make you United?
I mean, this alone isn't gonna be the only thing to push them over the line for top 4, but it's a step in the right direction. If Arsenal doesn't improve, or Lampard doesn't have a good season at Chelsea, or Tottenham, or the wheels fall off that project, they could be getting 5th place or getting a lot closer to the top 4 spot this time around.
Okay, cool. All right, now to a big topic, because I almost forgot about this, but I think we have to talk about this. Robin, not Batman, Robin, the sideshow, the helper, Santa's little helper, B-Tech, not Alpha. I think you'll know who I'm talking about. Yes, fine. Yes, join. Griezmann is now a Barcelona player, and Barca have now reacted to, of course, Robin getting Zad and getting Jovic. So it's pretty very simple right now. How successful do you feel Griezmann is going to be with Barcelona? How good of a signing do you think this is? Because I've already given my thoughts on this right now, because I will reiterate myself. Griezmann is not world class. Griezmann is a very good player, and he's a very effective player, and Griezmann is going to become successful than Coutinho. Anybody thinking that Griezmann alone individually can make the same impact as the cannibal in 2014 or Neymar, you don't know football and you're stupid. But Griezmann, I feel, is a great fit for Barcelona. But Griezmann has now accepted that you're no longer the superstar. You're Messi's side piece. You're Messi's booty call. That's what you are. So, Jujuman, start us off. Griezmann, how successful do you think he will be for Barcelona?
I think this is a great signing from Barcelona. Him and Frankie.
It was a great signing.
Yeah, it's a great signing. Like, Griezmann has proven everything in football except Champions League. And what's it called? And he's a great player.
Okay, so Jujuman, you're saying that he's world class. You're saying Griezmann is world class.
Yes, I think he's I know he's world class. And I mean, I don't want to push people's buttons, but I might say might be better than Hazard, but I don't want to go that far. I don't want to go that far.
No. You can't just say that and just carry on talking. Stop right there. So let's get this down on record, because you say some stuff that's amazing. That, bro, I think you smoked something before coming on here. Let me get it straight. With a straight face, put achievement to one side, footballer to footballer, ability to ability. You're saying to me with a straight face that Griezmann is better than Eden Hazard.
I mean, he's not that far away. Because the thing with Hazard, we're all relying on his ability, which I think is exceptional. Like second to Neymar with his ability, and Messi. I mean, third to Neymar and Messi. But what's it called? But Griezmann has accomplished a lot, and I think Barcelona have a good player. This is what United should be getting, but Barcelona, like, because Griezmann wanted, they get another great. It's another great player that they have now, and I don't know, like this Barcelona attack. Even though their manager, I mean, they need to get a better manager, but this team is still good. They're still good. They're still good going forward. and that was the problem last.
But how much of an impact do you think Griezmann is going to make? Is this enough to win a treble? Is this enough to win the Champions League? How much of an impact is Griezmann as a signing going to make for Barcelona? I need just a concrete answer, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, with impact, the problem. I don't think. Look, I'm going to go out and expose. I don't think he's going to have a huge impact, even though he's a great player. Because the problem with that Barcelona system is everything has to go through Messi. It's like if he's given a lot of responsibility, because Dembele needs more responsibility, Griezmann needs more responsibility. They need to just. Not every ball has to go through Messi. Not every time you have a chance, you wait and then pass again. Because if that continues, they can buy anyone they want. They can buy Neymar even, and nothing will change. Because that's the problem. Not every ball has to go through Messi. Like sometimes you can dribble by yourself and take a shot. That's the problem. So it's all dependent on if he gets more responsibility. If they put him on the side, that's another waste of cash. That's another waste of cash right there, because these players need more responsibility.
Okay. All right. Forward.
All right. Yeah. So in terms of like the transfer, like how I think he's going to do at Barcelona, I have my views on that, which are similar to yours, HH. But just on the player himself, because you said he's not world class, I just want to ask you a couple of questions first and foremost. So,
sure.
Do you view Griezmann as like a number 10 / like a second striker, right?
I view him strictly as a second striker.
Yeah, second striker. Okay, perfect. I view him as the same pretty much, right? So, other than Lionel Messi, who else in the world is better at him in that position? Because you say he's not world class. I beg to differ.
How many second strikers exist? Not many. He plays in a position where not many people have that same position. So that comparison is feasible because who is he competing against? Now, if you were to go back 6, 7, 8 years when we had Del Piero, when we had Dennis Bergkamp, he ain't sniffing Dennis Bergkamp or Del Piero. So.
Okay, we're not to obviously diverse the conversation too much away. I still think he's world class in terms of what he's done, especially at Atletico Madrid, which isn't like a complementary club to his playing style. Obviously, I think he's done a lot of France international level as well to prove that he is a world class player, in my opinion. Obviously, not on Hazard's level, but still a great player. But in terms of the transfer to Barcelona, I thought they needed an attacking player, but this style of player just doesn't fit the system. I don't see what they're going to do that's going to make it work. Maybe they need to sign another wing, or maybe they play Dembele left wing. Maybe they play Messi as like a false 9 and then Griezmann off the right or something like that. But otherwise, I don't see how it works. I don't see why they wanted to get Griezmann other than just maybe taking Atleti's best player, because he doesn't really fit what kind of front three they're going to be going for. It's going to be very top heavy. It doesn't really sort of the issue that they had last season was having players running in behind, which basically best suits Messi's playstyle, which he needs players running in behind, like how he had Neymar and a more mobile Suarez back in the day. It's not really going to help them in that sense. So it's a very strange signing. They still need a lot more. And obviously, tactically, especially with Valverde, that bum as a manager, I don't see how he's going to get the best.
Easy. What the hell?
No. Valverde is a bum. From time when not even when he choked the 4-0 lead with Liverpool. Like even before that, I could see this man is suspect. This man's a clown, and he doesn't know what he's doing, and he's just a messy puppet. So, yeah, with him at the helm, which again is an absolute travesty to football, that one of the best clubs in the world has Valverde as their manager, managing Lionel Messi towards the end of his prime. It's just a joke. So, again, with him at the helm, I don't trust him to do anything with that. Even with Griezmann, Messi, Suarez, any of them, I don't see it happening. So, yeah, unless they invest elsewhere and maybe attacking midfield, maybe have another winger, then I don't really see them doing anything special this season.
Oh wow! Hardcore. Your club, your actual real club. I don't recognize you being a Milan, bro. Talk about your club.
Anyways, to be honest, this is a garbage signing. This is the worst signing Barcelona has ever done in history. He's overrated. He's garbage. In difficult.
Wait. How is a World Cup winner garbage? Explain.
Okay, I'll show you why he's garbage. The reason why he won the World Cup was because he has Kante. Because he has Kante and he has Pogba. You get what I'm saying? And the thing about the French squad is that French squad had so many quality players in there that literally they were helping Griezmann to win the World Cup. You get what I'm saying? So this is the problem here. Griezmann is not a one-man. He's not a player who, when he's 4-0 down, he can score one goal. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So the problem, that's the problem. We have to ask this question. Can Griezmann score a goal in a difficult situation when you're 2-0 down, when you're 3-0 down, when you're 4-0 down? What can he do? What can he do in those situations? I don't think he can do nothing.
No, he can't.
That is the problem here. That is the problem. And this is why I'm saying this is the worst signing they've made. They put so much money on this guy.
But don't you admit that he is a good fit, though?
In where? Where
In
is
the
he going to
Barcelona, for Barcelona's system, don't you agree that his playing style matches very well with Barcelona's system?
I don't agree. I don't agree because let me tell you something, right? Griezmann, there's so many players in that Barcelona system, Dembele, Messi, Suarez, and all these other guys. One player has to sit down. And I know Valverde is not experimental. Valverde is not that kind of guy who likes to experiment, but he's a really good coach. So this is the problem here, right? So for me, and I'll keep saying this Trashalona club should just...
What the hell?
No. Let me just be honest to them. This Trashalona club, I would have suggested get Giroud to be a backup to Suarez. That makes a lot more sense. Because you need someone who's going to come off the bench when you're 4-0 down, when you're 2-0 down, who can get you a goal. And Griezmann is not that dude. I am so sorry. But even against Juventus, he was down to Juventus by 3 goals. Could he even manage to score 1 goal? Hell no. He couldn't even manage to score 1 goal. So what makes you think that if he comes to your club, he's going to manage to score 1 goal? Absolutely ridiculous signing. It's the worst signing I've seen in Barcelona. Second worst. And 120 million? Are you kidding me? My goodness.
Okay. Muntaha, break it down to your rivals. Is this a good signing, yes or no?
Bro, like if you see from the market perspective, I think so this is a good signing. I'll tell you why. And people say he's not a flipping Valverde type of player. He is Valverde type of player. If you'll see how many times this guy falls back, comes deep, help them defensively, even with France in 2018, with Atletico Madrid as well, that's great. So I think so. This is not an ideal signing for them because they need more of a number 9 rather than a shadow second striker. They need number 9, so they could have gone for Lacazette, or from Arsenal, something like that to replace Suarez. This is not a direct Suarez replacement. This is what I believe. How they're going to approach for this game under Valverde's system, I can see the 2 formation, but I think so. This formation he'll play with Barcelona and Griezmann in that team. Griezmann will play most of the time right inside forward. This is what I believe. Messi falls 9 and Dembele left winger. This is what I believe. This is the perfect formation to play with Griezmann, helping Messi linking up.
Okay, so you think it's a good fit?
Good fit in terms of Valverde's system, and obviously he's a great technical player. To be honest, if he's not world class, he's close to world class level. So what I believe that this guy is obviously upgrade over Suarez, because come on man, like Suarez is like he's done deal. I know even Griezmann didn't prove anything in Champions League, like what people say. He's the kind of league merchant though, but he is upgrade over Suarez. Like, because if you cannot continue next season with Suarez in Champions League as if your sole striker, number 9.
No.
So,
He's done.
Yeah, bro. On top of that, if you see at times in the big pressure match, Griezmann cracks as well. But you can fill up when you have great Lionel Messi playing next to you as a false 9. So yeah, man, I think so. This is I won't say ideal. Yeah, again, like one of the best buy for this season. I think so. He's better buy than Frankie De Jong. That's what I personally believe. And yeah, man, I think so. They can. I think they can win Champions League. I don't know about treble, but yeah, they can win Champions League. They have now a better chance, bit more change in the dynamism, and on top of that, Griezmann is really effective in the final third as well. If you see his intricate passing thing, what he used to provide, Diego Costa and Fernando Torres as well in Champions League, and he was good against Bayern Munich as well in 16. So yeah, man, why not? Like I think so. This is a good signing, very good signing. Yep.
Okay, Red, give us your thoughts on signing.
Okay, so for this, like I feel like it is a good signing for Barca, but I think it was a bad signing as well. I think it's good for the team because he's a quality player. He's going to be good. He adds more pace to their front line, which is something they're lacking. Aside from Ousmane Dembele and Malcolm, which they don't really play that much, they Suarez and Messi have lost their pace. So getting Griezmann into that front three, and also Coutinho's slow as well. So getting Griezmann into that front three just adds more pace and adds more speed to that front to the front line. He's also very clinical. Like with Atlanta, he never scored like braces or hat tricks, but he always showed up and scored like one goal. So he's very clinical. He is he does get like he does finish his chances. So I think it's good for Barca. But the reason why I think it's bad is because they could have got Neymar. I don't think, realistically speaking, because they got Griezmann. I don't think
but don't you think that they can get Griezmann and Neymar as well?
No, they can't. It's actually like they can't. They can't afford that. It's impossible. If Barca do pull that off, I'm getting to see receipts. Like it's too much money spent. Like they can't get it. I believe they were either Griezmann or Neymar, and the thing is, they already agreed with Griezmann since back in February. And the issue is they didn't expect Neymar to be on the market, but now Neymar's twerking every day online trying to get that move to Barca. But I don't think they can get him unless they offload like half their squad, which I feel like is an even worse decision, because if you do that, you're losing squad depth, which could jeopardize your team because you don't know really what every player brings to the table. Yes, you have a great starting 11, but if somebody gets injured, it could be a catastrophe in the end of your season. So I feel like he's gonna be good for Barca. I just felt like they could have done better had they been a little bit more
But
patient. And they actually
don't deserve
Wait, you can't shut the hell up, man. Okay,
like I feel like if Barca were just a little bit more patient, because I feel like all their buys over the past recent years, ever since Madrid's three-peat, have been very impulsive and poorly planned. Like Montaha said, Griezmann is not a direct Suarez replacement. Suarez's hold-up play is unrivaled, and I know he's slow and sluggish, but like also Suarez, like he's a very like inside the box, he's a monster. He always manages to finish it off, and aside from that, he also has that aggressive part to his game where he antagonizes defenses. He goes at people. Like that keeps the defenses on their edge, and they don't focus as well as, like, let's say for example a striker like Griezmann who's very passive, where if you see that game against Juve, Bonucci and Chiellini were very comfortable. They were like, him and Morata couldn't do anything. Like even when they tried to come close to them, they dive, which an experienced striker would know. Like if you know this player is going to dive, it's probably like steer away from him, not get too much in his face unless you have the ball. Like, but they're just inexperienced. So I feel like Griezmann from that his game lacks that aspect, something that Suarez has. So he's not a direct Suarez replacement. I feel so he's mostly likely going to be played on the wing, but for Sociedad he played on the left. But he's a left footer, so it'd be pretty wasteful to get a $120 million player just to put crosses into the box. So they're gonna have to play him on the right. Where would you play Messi? So I feel like again, it's a very impulsive buy. He's a quality player, but I want to see how they actually go into is he gonna play 4-4-2? Are the Barca gonna stick with the 4-4-2, and then he plays a second striker with Suarez and Messi plays on the right wing? But I don't know. I feel like Barca with this buy, it just doesn't make sense to me yet. So I want to see how it plays out.
Guys, actually, I just want to add over here one more thing. Yeah, if you see the work rate of Luis Suarez compared to Griezmann, like last season, I think so. Griezmann work rate is way higher than Suarez in terms of like aggressive, not just into like bullying the defenders. I'm not just trying to tell you that now, but in terms of tracking back, intricate passes, through balls, understanding the game, because Suarez was like literally dumbhead, bro. Like last season, like come on, man, he was embarrassing, man.
No, but like, bro, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, if you see Griezmann, you know what? He don't like I'll tell you how it won't disturb Messi's flow in the Barcelona thing. You know what? You don't get involved into the link up thing. You don't need to involve in the build up play. Let Messi plays the proper false nine role. Let him.
But Mutaha, sir,
wait. Okay, I'll come up to you guys, but I just have to just get some other guys in here to let them go in. So Abdullahi, give me your thoughts on the Griezmann buy then.
Griezmann is a good player, but the manager is the problem. Is he gonna play a 4-4-2 formation, a diamond formation, or is he gonna play a 4-2-3-1 by playing Griezmann in the right wing and playing Lionel Messi as number 10? So Valverde is gonna be the key because he only plays 4-3-3. So where do you want to stick in Griezmann? Are you gonna bring him from the bench?
Valverde can't change his system to accommodate Griezmann?
Exactly, that's the problem because he play a 4-4-3 all the time. So the problem is he gonna switch Griezmann maybe like a super sub in to play, or is he gonna play 4-4-2?
He's a starter. He's a starter. He's a starter, bro. He's a starter.
Exactly. So if it's gonna be a starter, you have to play diamond formation, a 4-1-4-1, or a 4-4-2, or a 4-1-3-2 formation that's gonna accommodate Griezmann because he's a second striker. So that's gonna be the problem because now they're spending big money on him now. So you're gonna play Lionel Messi as number 10, not at the right wing. Play him as number 10 with Griezmann together. Let them link up the play.
Okay.
That's gonna be huge because he's a good player. He's a very good player.
All right. Okay. So this now is where we now put. Actually, no. So sorry. Red, finish your point because you wanted to make a point, and then I'll get to the final topic. So Red, finish your point.
What I wanted to say is that, like, what Muntaha said is, like, don't get involved in the play, but that's what you're criticizing Suarez for. The fact that he doesn't get involved in the play, he's lazy, quote unquote. Like, the whole point of what I'm trying to say is, like, with Suarez, like, yes, he doesn't press, but if I'm not paying 120 million euros for a striker to defend, I need you to score goals, to be clinical, to guarantee these goals. And Suarez, like, I'm sorry, Griezmann can't hold the candle to Suarez because let's not forget, like, for people, just sorry, one quick thing, just before we overrate Griezmann too much for that World Cup, when he was in the Euro 2016, when he was the star attacker for France, they lost. It was until Mbappe came is that France started becoming lethal. So we're not going to give Griezmann all of that credit for that World Cup. Yes, he played a part. I rate him, but it's not.
That's the reason. Red brother. Sorry, but that I just want to tell you that how can you play Griezmann as of like flipping lone striker? You cannot do that. He's naturally not that kind of player.
What?
That's why I'm saying he's going to play 4-4-2. 4-4-2.
The problem with 4-4-2 is that you're limiting your midfielders like to a two CMs or two DMs deep. Like that's like risky in terms of playing away games or something like that. So instead of playing with two CMs, I'll play with 3 CMs. Messi false 9, proper 4-3-3 false 9. Griezmann more of inside forward in the right flank. I think so. This would be the perfect solution instead of playing Suarez, Griezmann, Messi together. And like that will be like much more mess rather than being because look, Valverde at the end of the day he's a defensive approach manager. He's pragmatic manager. He wants at some point his striker or right winger to falls deep. So in a sense, with 4-3-3 false 9, he can come back at defense as well, and he can show his worker on the flank and cutting inside rather than playing more centrally as a more natural shadow striker. So that's what I believe.
Let's move because let's move to the final topic here. But this is interesting and don't worry, whoever mentioned that whole thing, I think it was your boy Kyle. Me and Red, we will discuss Neymar and Ronaldinho. It's coming very soon. We will discuss that on a live show. Hopefully this week. So just watch the channel. We'll be discussing Neymar and Dino. Me and Red will be going back and forth now. So just watch.
Dino's done over here.
Now, final topic.
Neymar's done over here.
Muntaha takes center stage because Muntaha sent me a message and he said that we need to talk about Modric because he feels that Modric has been slightly disrespected and not been appreciated more. So, as a final topic, this is: is Modric underappreciated or is he overrated? How valuable was he to Real Madrid's unprecedented 3 Champions League run? So, I'll set things off here. People need to understand what a central midfielder is. A central midfielder is not a goal scorer. Doesn't score 6-7 goals. And when I do the football hot, I believe I'm talking to people who are hardcore football fans. People who are casual football fans, I'm not talking to you. People who are just casual fans who just watch it and just do it because it's cool and just do the little bobs and just actually watch the game. This isn't. I don't really speak towards you. I mean, thank you for watching my thing, great. But my chance really for hardcore football fans. Modric is a central midfielder. And I always say this to people that the structure, if you think of a football team like a building structure, the very structure of a team is a central midfield. If the central midfielder doesn't work, your team doesn't work. So this guy may score 6, 7, 8 goals, If that central midfielder doesn't work within the entirety of a 90 minutes game, that striker isn't going to get those chances. And I've always said that Toni Kroos, I believe, is overrated. He's good. Toni Kroos is good, but he's overrated. Modric is that midfield. Toni Kroos is there to help supplement Modric. But the guy who is breaking the line, joining the attack, running forward with the ball, turning the midfield into attack is Modric. Kroos is the guy that just keeps the midfield intact. But Modric is the guy who really makes the midfield much more three-dimensional. So when people say, "Oh, why did he win the Ballon d'Or? It should have been Cristiano. It should have been Messi. It should have been this. It should have been that." You're not carefully watching what this guy does. What that guy did in that second half against Liverpool in 2018, he took over the entire game. So let me give the floor to Montar before I give everyone. So Montar, just give me your thoughts on Modric and why you feel he's important.
Bro, first of all, I'll just give you one, like, there's so many aspects of Modric. This guy, as a CM, name me in last decade, name me a center midfielder, box to box, I mean, comes deep, comes to the right back position. Temporarily, he's a right back for you for a second or five in a game. He receives the ball from a defender, carried the ball by dribbling two players vertically, closer to the flipping, to the second, to the final third of the opposition box, and then dictate the game. Name me a midfielder. I haven't seen you can come arguing with me, come with the Iniesta. Iniesta never used to drop so deep. At time there was Busquets who used to come and help me out. With Casemiro was never good at the ball compared to level of Busquets. So even Modric, I haven't seen a center box to box player, midfielder. Even at the Spurs days, bro, he helped Spurs to reach to the Champions League, qualified for the first time in their history. Correct me if I'm wrong. Bro, with Modric, Bale used to excel on the left flank. Bro, if you see, there's one stat. I understand stats are overrated at times. One stat: Modric missed that Juventus fixture, and that season when Modric missed in 14-15 Juventus fixture, we lost to Juventus. And when he played against Barcelona, we dominated Barcelona that season. Peak MSN era, prime MSN era. Okay. Just imagine if this guy would have played that thing against Juventus, and we were so close. We were missing the presence of Modric, bro. His visions, bro. At times people says Toni Kroos, or he's a deep line midfielder. He has a vision. He can dictate the show. He can, bro. Modric, even he has that ability as well. It's so underrated. And the Ancelotti, what Modric used to do, Ozil used to play attacking midfielder. Modric used to come back and used to dictate the show. Bro, this guy for me is one of the most, for me, I'll rate him, top 10 midfielder of all time. I might be a bit biased. Yeah, bro. I might be biased, bro. Look, I might be biased, but if you see his contribution for this team, Real Madrid, bro, just imagine if he would be fit in that season, bro. I'm telling you, we are winning 5 in a row. At least we are reaching to final, bro. 5 times in a final. Are you kidding me, bro? This is Cristiano fanboys' agenda. Let me be honest, bro. The way they portray, Xavi, Iniesta. Look, Messi played with Xavi, Iniesta, so they helped Messi a lot. But when it comes to Cristiano, oh no, there is nobody. Modric is not at the level of Xavi or Iniesta. The way they come and set up this argument, bro, you have to understand, bro. Modric never gets that respect, bro. What he deserves, to be honest, bro.
Okay. Jujuma, thoughts on this? Does Modric get enough respect? Is he disrespected, underrated? What were your thoughts?
I think he gets enough credit, but no, the problem is, I understand now why some Madrid fans are unhappy with Ronaldo fanboys, because they try and make everything sound about as if Ronaldo did it by himself. But with Modric, I think the Ballon d'Or was deserved, 100% Modric. It was deserved for the three-peat, because if Modric wasn't...
Which weren't you the one that said Modric didn't deserve the Ballon d'Or?
No, I stayed away from the CR7 fanboys, but what's it called? Modric deserved that Ballon d'Or. If anyone says otherwise, then I'm not sure they were watching, because that three-peat, Modric was... you mentioned, Double H, you mentioned the second half against Liverpool. Also remember the second half against... Juventus. That was Modric was really good at that second half, and
yes,
I'm happy he got that Ballon d'Or, because this guy was about to go without getting credit for that three-peat, and I think he deserved it. He deserved it, and he gets enough credit. I don't. Anyone that doesn't rate him, probably they don't know the sport that well, because he's a great player. He's a great player.
Okay. Ford.
Yeah, for me, I feel like he's rated about quite fairly. I mean, I don't really pay too much attention to football Abbey Twitter with their genders on Messi or Cristiano, but like for me, he's a top talent, one of the best midfielders of all time. Certainly one of the best of his generation, if not the best. I remember him from his days in Dynamo Zagreb when I mean he had like a Champions League game against Arsenal. I remember at like 17 or 18 years old, he was just balling out, and the guy was just a fantastic player. You could see it from there; the talent was there. And what really helped him in terms of being like a very progressive midfielder, as Muntaha was alluding to earlier, was because he was actually like an attacking midfielder. So he's always very pressure resistant, very good at dribbling, picking up, making those passes. But it was when he moved to Real Madrid and he kind of transitioned into being a more of like an all-round centre mid. He could do it all. His defending was quite good. He's decent in 50-50 tackles. His position is pretty decent. Where he excels is taking the ball and being able to progress it and find an eye for a pass, be very pressure resistant and not lose the ball very easily. I feel like that's what really has helped him and helped that Real Madrid team. And for me, when you look at in terms of who was the main influences in that dynasty that Real Madrid created, I feel like Ronaldo's probably number one, but I feel like Modric is probably on par, if not second or worst third, alongside Sergio Ramos, obviously with all his clutch moments. But I think Sergio Ramos wasn't always very consistent defensively. Real Madrid were quite leaky at the back at times. Certainly he turned up in big games, but I feel like Modric was always like a mainstay in terms of producing a certain kind of excellence in his performances. I feel like many times against Bayern Munich, obviously a Liverpool second half as well, many games where he's always produced and he's always been able to really control the midfield for Real Madrid and make a massive difference. So again, I don't know what football fans are seeing if you're not seeing Real Madrid as, if you're not seeing Modric as an excellent player of his time and a massive influence in that dynasty that Real Madrid created. So for me, Muntaha was right when he said he's a top 10 midfielder of all time. I would definitely agree. He's a top 10 midfielder of all time, no doubt. As a legacy, I'm glad he got that Ballon d'Or. And I think it was only people like LG, or as you guys call him, FG, was talking about how he didn't deserve to win a Ballon d'Or. He absolutely deserved to win a Ballon d'Or, especially ahead of Cristiano. So, he gets his due credit. He's a fantastic midfielder, and nothing else should be said about it. Anybody saying he's overrated is talking nonsense.
And to add, like there are two players I've seen that are able to beat that Liverpool press, Neymar and Modric. I mean, just like the two, few players can beat, but Neymar and Modric can beat that Liverpool press.
And to that point, how many midfielders are you going to be that you could find who ever do that? And very rare that anybody can do that. And Modric has that unique ability to be able to beat the press from midfield, which is a very special talent. So definitely one of the best of all time.
All right, hardcore Modric.
Yeah, I think he's currently. I think he's the best midfielder in the world right now. I'll tell you why. I don't know why he's so underappreciated. And I have a Liverpool friend who literally told me that James Milner is better than Luka Modric, and I
don't know what friends you have, but
that's a bit much. He's totally deluded. But what I will say is he's such an amazing midfielder. I've watched this guy, what he's done with the Croatian team, taking them to the finals. That's an amazing achievement. They got beaten by the better side, which, to be honest with you, I can understand. And I just feel like for Modric, during his Tottenham days, I think his best Tottenham days was in 2010, where I think he qualified for the Champions League with Tottenham. And I like I said, I think he's just a tremendous player all around. He can play attack, he can control the midfield, he can do a lot of things. And I just feel like the amount of trophies he's won, the experience that he's had in the past 6 or 7 years makes him the best midfielder in the world right now. I'm trying to say, I don't know if you can say the same to some of the Barcelona players, such as Arthur Melo, because some people rate Arthur Melo over Toni Kroos. Some people rate Arthur Melo over Modric. And to me, that's totally insane, totally deluded. But for me, I think Modric, to me, is a way better midfielder. Although I won't count Arthur Melo out because he won the Copa America and he proved to me by his evidence. And if you prove to me by evidence by one international trophy, that to me tells me that, you are one of the best midfielders in the world. So yeah, that's all I got.
Okay. Abdullah Kiban, Modric. Thoughts?
Wow. Modric is a very good player, very, very central midfielder, very, very good. If you go back to the days of Tottenham Hotspur, when he was playing with Tottenham, was playing with Gareth Bale, we all know he was a good player because that was when Chelsea wanted to buy him. Then when Daniel Levy was like, I'm not going to sell it to Chelsea, I'm not going to blah, blah, blah stuff. He's a very, very good player, wonderful player. He's a very good player. People need to appreciate him more a lot. We just say because Real Madrid won the Champions League.
Would you put him above Iniesta and Xavi? Would you put him above Iniesta and Xavi?
You mean Luka Modric?
Yeah.
Absolutely, I will. Yeah,
over
because
Xavi and Iniesta?
Yeah, because if you look at the impact he has made in Real Madrid, I will surely put him there. Yes, because if you look at the impact very well, from Tottenham to Real Madrid now, I will put him there because people keep saying because Real Madrid won 3 Champions League. We need to go back to the Champions League they won. Who is the key factor there? Take out Cristiano Ronaldo. Take it out. Who is the key factor there is Luka Modric. Luka Modric is the key factor there winning that Champions League. Because apart from Sergio Ramos, who is the defender, look at Luka Modric. He's the pivotal in the midfield. If he doesn't play, Madrid are in trouble. Take out Luka Modric out of the team. Who do you want to put there that's going to play for them? Who? Nobody. Casemiro, okay. Toni Kroos, who again? No one. So that is a very good player because he has shown time over time again that he is a very good player. And people say he doesn't deserve the Ballon d'Or. 2018, Croatia was the second team when France won the World Cup. So Luka Modric was the best player there. So I don't see why people saying he doesn't deserve the Ballon d'Or.
Okay. I mean, but a lot of Barca fans will be raising their eyebrows. We putting above.
No. Lionel Messi didn't do anything in the World Cup. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't do anything in the World Cup. So possibly he has to go to Luka Modric. He has to go there. There's no doubt in him. He has to go.
Okay. All right. Red, Modric.
Oh man, HH. What can I say about this player? I said in the first hangout of the season that for the 3P, it's Ronaldo in attack, Modric in midfield, and Ramos in defense. Modric, first of all, just to remind you, the most important goal in Real Madrid history is that Decima's last-minute header for Sergio Ramos. Mm-hmm. Who assisted him on that? Who delivered on that from that corner?
It was Modric. Yeah, Modric.
Bro,
yeah.
2017 against Juve in the final, where in the big game, the second half, who turned up clutch and even got an assist? And I think Ronaldo got the man of the match. I think that one. Who turned up clutch in that second half and got Ronaldo that assist in that last in his second goal?
It was the overhead kick.
No, not the overhead. I'm talking about 17, the final when we won 4-1. Luka Modric turned up in that final, the second half, and completely dominated that game.
Exactly, yeah.
And then in 2018, in the final against Liverpool, in the second half, who was man of the match during the whole match? Luka Modric. We're talking about a big game player. This guy, for every big game, whether it was El Clasico, whether it was in the Champions League, he would always turn up. He was never a liability. He always did his dues, whether it's defensively, attacking. He would do it all. And aside from that, if we want to talk about Motaha mentioned it, the 2015 Champions League when we got eliminated by Juve, Modric was injured. He was the only one missing from our starting 11, and we couldn't break through Juve. And if you see in the following 2 years playing Juve, we were able to dominate because we had Modric. We were able to win because he helped us. So absolutely a vital player. And I highly recommend for everybody that's listening to this, there's a compilation of Modric just no touch football where he just dummy players and there'd always be like Casemiro Cruz behind him to receive the ball. And he wouldn't even touch it just by his movement, the way he reads the game. This guy's a genius. And finally, he led a nation that's barely 20 years old of 3.5 million people to a World Cup final. That is insane. That is you'll never see that again. We'll probably never see Croatia in our lifetime in the finals again. It's just to show you this Croatian golden generation, and the fact that Modric was the best player on that Croatian team just is a testament to his quality. So yeah, man, Luka Modric, well deserved Ballon d'Or for last year, and he is definitely, for me, he's top 10, and I wouldn't rate him above Iniesta, but I'll put him ahead of Xavi. So if I'm gonna go Iniesta, Modric, Xavi.
All right, Ahmed, Modric.
Well, I think that he got the Ballon d'Or, so that's somewhat respect. But I think some people don't respect him, and some people they say he doesn't deserve the Ballon d'Or. But I think that's more of the attacking bias that exists now, because it's a lot easier to say, oh, Ronaldo scored this many goals, or Salah broke the Premier League record, but I think it's absurd to say anyone besides Modric deserved the Ballon d'Or, not just for the great season he had with Real Madrid, but obviously what he did with Croatia, which I think was very impressive, and I don't think it'll ever happen again. And what Muntaha and Red said, I think they said it enough about how crucial he was to the four Champions Leagues in the last 5 years. And I think Modric is probably, maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I think he should be top 10 midfielders of all time.
Okay. So before we go, final thing, all I want is one name. All I want is from one name from everyone here. And then we can then go. So the question here is, yeah, and I'll give you time to think. One name, best central midfielder of all time. I'll give you guys to think. All I want is no waffling here and there. All I want is one name, just to give me
Zidane.
No. Don't tell me. Just think about it, and then just give me one name. Tell me the reason why, very briefly, in a sentence or two. I will start. So the key thing is, and people in the chat, you can also say this way: best central midfielder of all time. Just one. I'll start. Zinedine Zidane. Nobody exemplified how to play that role better than him in terms of keeping the ball, creativity, passing, and being the heartbeat and rhythm of a team, as well as adding dynamism and crazy magical moments in that midfield position. So for me, Zinedine Zidane, best central midfielder of all time. Red.
Yeah, no, Zizou, Zinedine Zidane, numero uno, That he went on a clean sweep internationally for France, 98, 99, 2000. All three of those trophies in a row, won them. As soon as he was gone in 2002, when he was injured, France got knocked out in the group stage. He was rushed back from injury in the final game, but he wasn't able to really have an impact. But overall, they flopped because of him. And in 2006, when he came back, we saw what he did. Like we saw the greatness at the age of 34 years old. I mean, Ronaldo and Messi were both in their 30s this World Cup, and you saw they couldn't even have the impact that Zizou had in that 2006 World Cup. And the only player that I've seen that got 2 red cards in a World Cup final and is still considered the greatest. And one last thing, people forget that Zidane, if not for those red cards in those World Cup finals, he could have had 5 Ballon d'Ors. He could have had in 2006. Had he not got that red card, he would have won the Ballon d'Or that year, and in '98 as well. So he could have had 5. Yeah. So, and who else? This is how great Zidane is. Scored the greatest Champions League goal final of all time, arguably now that we have Bale's goal, but the greatest Champions League final goal of all time. And when he grew up, he was able. He won it 3 times in a row as a manager, and got his sons both Champions League medals as well. Like, so, like who does that? Only Zizou. That's greatness.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's fair. All right. So basically, before I move to Judgment, remember, guys, if you want your comments read out, or you want to add say comments to the panel, use the super chats. Use the super chats function, and I'll be able to have your question read out to the panel, and I'll be able to answer it through the super chats. Gets priority. So, Judgment, one name only. That's what I want to hear. The best central midfielder of all time.
I'm going with Iniesta. No. I'll go with Zidane, but Iniesta is close there.
No.
Because this is a tough question.
One name.
It's a tough question. Like I think it varies with generation. Like I'll say for this generation, is Iniesta is probably the best.
No. That wasn't the question. The question is overall, the number one central midfielder of all time, overall through all time.
See, I'll agree with you guys, because Zidane, like the one age I give Zidane is he played with in different teams, so that gives him an edge. As with what's it called, with Iniesta, he played with the same team, so that's probably easier, and he played with it's probably easier. That's the only thing I give Zidane. Like one of the few things I give Zidane an edge of. And the other thing is that 2006 was just a testament to Zidane's greatness, because he had to come out of retirement, and I remember France were not that good. I think they were eliminated by Senegal, and Zidane came back, and it all changed everything. And it's only one guy that defeated that Ronaldinho at his peak in that 2006 quarterfinals. And
okay,
I think, and the one thing that I don't understand is why he flopped for the Galactico, but I don't know.
Okay.
All
right. Hardcore, number one central midfielder of all time.
This is a really good question. I would say, I really personally, I really did like this guy.
No. Hardcore. I don't care who you like. Just give me one name of the best of all time, bro.
I'm gonna say Zidane. Yeah, that was pretty good. I like Figo too. Actually, no. I'll say Figo.
No, hardcore. The question is central, center in the middle of the pitch, central midfield of all time. That was the question, bro.
Oh yeah, Zidane.
Okay, all right. Forward, one name. I'm just gonna.
All right. So you guys have already given the right answer. So I'm gonna show some love to Frank Lampard. Yeah, you might call it bias or whatever, but
for the don'ts. Just
no. Look here.
No.
I'm not gonna regurgitate what you guys have already said. So I'm gonna show some love to another guy. All right, cool. All right, the best of all time is Frank Lampard, isn't it? Let me tell you why. Not only did he have a high footballing IQ, obviously one of the smartest footballers of all time, based on a doctor's test from the University of Cambridge, I believe. But also one of the most clutch footballers of all time. Not only a scorer of many goals, great goals, but also clutch goals. The most goals in 90-minute plus in Premier League history. And yeah, just consistent level of performance over many years in different systems under different managers. And he proved it also doing it in a defensive system, winning the Champions League as well, especially as he was known as an attacking midfielder. So yeah, for me, I'm gonna say biasly Frank Lampard.
That's BS, but again, you're using bad. Well, that's fair. Muntaha, best central midfielder of all time.
Bro, there is no even doubt, bro. Like Zinedine Zidane. But I know you just want one answer, HH. But Xavi is close. But man, Xavi is close in terms of not in terms of flair, but in terms of what he produced at the big moments.
Efficiency.
Yeah, but Zizou's next level. Okay. Now the reason is that, bro, this is what a GOAT works, man. This is what a true GOAT is. He has impressive numbers in big games. He has big moments. He done with his country, with his clubs, bro. Like he has like aura. He has flipping, X factor as a captain to make your team to bro. For me, like there's so many things, bro. For the GOAT argument, like he's not just the best midfield CM as well. He's the best player for me, of all time, because this guy, his mentality.
Over Maradona and Ronaldo.
For me, I think so. Yes, for me, I might be a bit biased, but you have to think from my perspective as well. Yeah, bro, Maradona was great guy, man. Like great player with the way he won with the weak Napoli side and back-to-back World Cup finals. Great. Zizou did the same thing, but not back-to-back. But like into '98 and 2006, bro. That 2006 French team has no business to do with to play that flipping World Cup final.
Yes,
I'm telling you, man. They don't have any business to play, bro, because there were so good teams as well, like likes of Brazil. Like, bro, if even England was good, Portugal was so good, bro. And if you see the pathway to reach final, bro, he defeated peak Spain at that time. They have David Villa, Marcos Senna, all these guys. If you know that, then they defeated flipping Portugal, and that Portugal with Maniche, Petit, Figo, that team was next level team, bro. That Portugal and Deco as well in that, bro. Then he defeated flipping Brazil. That Brazil was stacked, Brazil, man. Like likes of young Kaká. They have peak Dino. They have the leadership and the greatness of R9 as well. Roberto Carlos, bro. Like list goes on and on and on. Even in final, he scored that Panenka penalty. Oh my goodness, bro! Like I cannot see, some of the so-called fakes.
No. He had his moments. Okay.
What about H? For me,
bro.
Okay,
bro. I just want to finish over here. You know what? He's not just the best CM. He's the goal for me as well. That's it.
Can I tell my answer?
No. Hardcore. Sure, I'll get to you. Abdullahi, best central midfielder of all time.
Wow, that's a big topic.
Yes, sir. One name.
I'll be biased a little bit. Everybody's been going on Zinedine Zidane. Zidane is a good player. Nobody's doubt, but I won't lie to you. I'll go with Frank Lampard. Like what Forward said, I'll go with Lampard because
okay, Abdullah, okay, let's just be fair here. Right? Please try and put Barcelona away. So, Abdullah here, are you honestly telling me that Frank Lampard is a greater central midfielder than Zinedine Zidane?
If I want to be biased, I would say Frank
No,
Lampard.
no. I don't want you to be biased. I just want you to be truthful. The question was, who is the number one central midfielder of all time? This has nothing to do with bias, please.
Okay. For me, I will go with Frank Lampard.
Okay.
The reason I'll go Frank Lampard because if you watch him very well, he plays under different manager. From Jose Mourinho to Ancelotti to Roberto Di Matteo to a lot of managers. He plays as a center, as a DM and as a central midfielder. He scored goals from a DM, from an attacking player, and also as a defensive player. So he has shown up a lot in the EPL, in the Champions League a lot. People seen him a lot. He has shown up a lot. Even when we are down with us, you will see Lampard coming up and scoring some clutch goals. So it may not be showing a lot for England, like people say, because those English teams are hype. But Lampard is a very good player. So I would take Lampard.
Okay. All right. Okay. Ahmed, best central midfielder of all time.
I think it's been said enough. Zinedine Zidane. I don't know what more I can add to it besides saying to Abdullahi that Zidane worked under different managers and different teams and different systems. The France team, for example, 1998 is the same one from 06, but he did really well with both Real Madrid, Juventus. I don't know how you can say Lampard, honestly, without bias, is better than Zinedine Zidane. I don't think it's a question.
Okay, guys, it's been good. Next Sunday, we will know who the AFCON 2019 winners are. Guys, it's been solid. It's been good. Stay healthy. Stay real. Have a great week. Peace out. Stay true. Stay black and stay real. Peace.
Peace out, bro.